Welcome to Parks and Places Online. Most of our videos features a single park, like Yellowstone. But today we're doing something a little different. We're actually featuring 6 different places. Today we'll be covering Wind Cave National Park, Jewel Cave National Monument, Crazy Horse Memorial, Custer State Park, Needles Highway, and Spearfish Canyon. These are all located in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell icon to get notifications when new videos are uploaded. The most popular attraction in the Black Hills of South Dakota is Mount Rushmore. But if you're going out that way, this video will give you information on other attractions in the area for you to plan your visit. I mentioned 6 different places that we're covering in this video because those are the 6 different places that we have visited over the years. There are many cute towns in the area, like Keystone, Lead, Deadwood, and Sturgis, which is famous for its biker rally. But we're not really into that so much, so if you are into that, you'll need to get your information somewhere else. So let's get started. There are 2 caves in the area. Looking through old photos, I have determined that we have been to 15 different caves over the years. I'm counting lava tubes in that count, so some purists may disagree with that. This seems like a lot to me, but it also means that it qualifies us to judge caves. So on the rating systems of dud, good, and wow, I'd say these 2 caves are good. Wind Cave National Park has some of the most unique cave formations, that being boxwork, which only forms in very few caves. Wind Cave has some of the best and most abundant boxwork formations. So what are boxwork formations? They are small fins of calcite that come out of the ceiling. The fins intersect each other, creating shapes that are referred to as boxes. Don't think square boxes. The current theory on how these formations were created is that the rock developed cracks, water seeped into the cracks, and as the water dried up, it left calcite in the cracks. The hardened calcite that was left behind was actually harder than the rock around it. As the rock worn away, the calcite fins remained. That seems plausible, but I'm kind of waiting for a better theory on how they were created. Wind Cave has few other formations, so you really have to be into boxwork to really appreciate Wind Cave. Jewel Cave is a national monument, not a national park. The difference between a national monument and a national park is, well, sometimes nothing. They are both administered by the Parks Department. Both have park rangers, visitor centers, trails, etc. National monuments are usually smaller than national parks, but I think there are exceptions to that too. Between the 2 parks, I like Jewel Cave better. Jewel Cave is famous for its popcorn formations, but it has dogtooth formations, soda straws, curtains, cave bacon, and other neat formations. If caves aren't your thing, then venture above ground. Crazy Horse Memorial is less than 20 miles from Mount Rushmore. Like Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse Memorial is a sculpture carved into the side of the Black Hills of South Dakota. Crazy Horse was a Lakota leader. He's probably best known for the Battle of the Little Bighorn in 1876. The sculpture is a work in progress, which adds to the lure of going to visit. They have been working slow but steady on the sculpture for decades, with no particular timetable for completion. They have a model of what the sculpture is planned to look like when they're completed. But remember, there were models of Mount Rushmore too. When you're carving into a stone mountain, you're subjected to the mountain itself, so plans change. If they complete the sculpture as planned, then it will be over 500 feet tall, or 5 times taller than Mount Rushmore. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will also help you. I will also uphold you with my righteous right hand. We have been to the Black Hills of South Dakota many times. We've been to Wind Cave once, Jewel Cave once, Crazy Horse Memorial once. We've been to Mount Rushmore a few times, but every time that we go to the Black Hills of South Dakota, we make sure to stop in at Custer State Park. This is our favorite destination, even though it may not be the most spectacular. You go to Custer to relax. There are many small lakes to enjoy, abundant wildlife, and scenic drives. I don't believe motorized boats are allowed on any of the lakes, so bring your kayak, not your wave runner. Sylvan Lake is the most popular place in the park, and it's probably our favorite lake as well. Deer and other wildlife can be spotted throughout the park, but the best place to find wildlife is on the Wildlife Scenic Loop. We saw several bighorn sheep this past visit, but they're usually not so easy to spot. You're almost guaranteed to see burros and bison. Lots of bison. The burros, or donkeys, are descendants of work animals brought in years ago. Once the work was done, the animals were let free, and they still remain to this day. The bison herd is wild, mostly. As I understand it, their diet is supplemented in the winter. Although within the borders of Custer State Park, I'm listing Needles Highway as its own destination. The scenic highway is through the rock spires of the Black Hills. They carved out a road and tunnels between and through the rock formations. Unfortunately, the drive through Needles Highway isn't an option for us anymore because our motorhome is too wide and too tall. I saw a video on YouTube of someone driving a full-sized pickup through Needles Highway, and with their side mirrors pulled in, they were just able to squeeze through. Certainly a pickup with dual rear tires wouldn't fit, so know your vehicle's dimensions before you go through Needles Highway. One neat feature of Needles Highway is that they have carved tunnels through the rocks that align perfectly with a view of Mount Rushmore. There are a few such tunnels so that you experience this in either direction that you drive. That's right, Needles Highway is a two-way road. So you peek into the tunnel at the tight spot, and if it's clear, you go. If you see oncoming traffic, then you stop, or if necessary, you back up. The last place that we're highlighting in today's video is Spearfish Canyon. This is a scenic drive some 50 miles northwest of Mount Rushmore. I should also mention that the drive from Mount Rushmore to Spearfish Canyon is scenic in itself. And if you take a little detour, you can go through the towns of Lead and Deadwood. Spearfish Canyon is a favorite for motorcyclists. The road twists and turns as it follows the river through the canyon. There are 3 waterfalls in Spearfish Canyon. Bridal Veil Falls is the least spectacular among the 3, but there's a pull-off and a viewing platform, so everyone stops. The other 2 waterfalls are much more scenic, but you have to hike to them. The hike to Roughlock Falls is about a quarter mile, and the hike to Spearfish Falls is about a half mile, so we're not talking about long hikes. Check out my other 2 videos on Mount Rushmore and Badlands National Park. Those videos, along with this one, should give you some information to plan your South Dakota vacation. Thanks for watching.